Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello, once again, welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis, and you're watching episode 19. Starting off with the first poem, this one's called A Chapter New. You're going home soon then? That was a quote from the taxi man who was tuned in to the vote to Brexit. I told him, nope, I was born here. I need no exit. I sat there calm and collected, thinking how many people those words would have affected. At least half the percentage of immigrants on the guest list. Some work and pay tax and as little that they're left with. What comes to mind? Open hostilities no longer confined to older women of colour. Because after Brexit, white Europeans were vulnerable like a brother, chased by teddy boys running for cover in the 60s, when a white girl with a black lover was known to be tricky, especially if they saw brown in her picnic. Where I get this resource is bound to be history. How's Britain so great remains clouded with mystery. Born and raised here, but British they claim I'm not fit to be. More sincere than at any tale told, they sent for my gramp to come over here and help build the railroads and drive the buses. Now the work is over out the country, they tried to rush us. My white friends rooting for David Lammy as they discuss this. Back in the day, our only weapon was the cutlass. We've now got black politicians to voice our opinions and rappers too. We've still got long to go before we turn a chapter new. And moving on to my next poem, this one is called Humble Pie. An unfathomed figure drawing close should trigger your impulse to act quick. Either it's fight or flight like planes boarded at Gatwick. The latter will buy you more time. First choice could be an early casket. Guidance is a thing that's received when you asked it. But due to egos, the cap can't fit, like size 7s on a size 11. It's self-explanatory how one describes their heaven, but easier for those who use their mind as weapons. The stamp collector may differ to the man that counts his blessings. And due to egos, the cap can't fit. Rico just got out of jail and he's back on that strip. Got a mini devil on his shoulder and it's cracking that whip. There's some workaholics that don't actually sit. Only time they're taking off is when they're actually sick. Harry's been working extra hours since he packed in his ex. He moved on, she keyed his car cause she's actually vexed. She didn't realize at the time that she was actually blessed. Cause due to egos, some cats don't fit. And hence we struggle by, too proud to settle for some humble pie. And moving on to my third and final poem, and this one is called Mother Knows Best. They say that mother knows best, but from younger years some mothers' requests we'd often overlook. She told you set the timer on your phone for the food. You fell asleep and almost burnt down your home, and now the food is overcooked. A closer look at life compared to sayings that she used to give. If taken on board, we could have shaped our future with. At times some do abuse the gift of having a mum. First impression of the girl about to marry your son has some validity. Some say to selective hearing, they're the epitome. Though there's victory in listening, unless she's an alcoholic and not fit to be Christian. A mother's wisdom plays a vital part, vital as them candles when the times are dark. A mother's the first to find your heart, she's irreplaceable, unless she gave you up cause to raise she wasn't capable. It doesn't mean you wasn't raisable. Some situations breed bad choices. My point is, some kids have never heard their dad's voices. And usually it's not down to request. 9 times out of 10 they say that mother knows best. And there you have it. Short and sweet until next week. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.